Monday, everyone. It is May, I think it's the 20th. I lose track of the days now since I don't have a regular schedule. It's about 11 o'clock, and I am getting ready to go to the gym to work out on the treadmill for about 30 minutes. Um, Last week was the first week I went to the gym, and I'm not going to Orange Theory because that's a little too high intensity for my recovery right now. So I'm going to 24-hour fitness because I still have a membership there because I only pay $5 a month, so I will never be canceling that. And luckily I have it because it at least gives me the option to attempt to get some exercise in. So I tried last week, since last week marked I think the 2 or 3 week phase of my recovery, and just to walk. Like right now I'm just cleared to walk, and so I walked for an hour the first day and felt pretty good. I mean, it was definitely an effort, not on an incline, just at a faster speed, like between a 3.5 and a 4.0. And then I was kind of sore the next day, and I didn't really know what to attribute it to. So then the next day I tried to walk for another hour, but then by 30 minutes I was done. So I only walked 30 minutes, and then I felt tired again. And then I just decided I needed to kind of take a break because I wasn't quite sure if I was doing too much. And since recovery, I have had a chance to speak to a nurse who has experience with people that have had a myomectomy, which is what I had about almost a month ago. And she said you just have to be really careful because you don't want to rip your uterus open. So that's a real concern to have, because once you do, they can't sew it back up. They have to find other means to kind of close it up. So I feel good on the outside. That's what the situation is right now, is mentally I feel like I'm recovered. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I feel like I'm almost back to myself. But I have to remember, and if anyone out there is watching this and is going to have it or is thinking about it, you have to remember the inside has to recover because my stomach was cut open. So muscles have to recover and all of that. So I didn't go anymore last week. I only went 2 days. And so I'm trying again today. I really want to get myself on some kind of a schedule, and doing some form of exercise needs to be a part of that schedule. So I'm going to attempt it. I'm probably only going to go for 30 minutes. The other downfall is doing this, walking on a treadmill is extremely boring. So, and the gym that I go to doesn't seem to have Wi-Fi. So I'm hoping to maybe be able to listen to a book on audio. So I just downloaded a book, and hopefully that'll make it better. But it's really boring. It makes me miss Orange Theory. Not that I miss exercising. I don't love exercising, but I do it because I need to do it. I just miss the fact that at least in Orange Theory, I'm not going to be bored by it. And it's a little bit more intense in what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that for half an hour. Then I need to stop at Target to pick up a couple of things. I might get a nice coffee from McDonald's because I have a free one. And today I would like to work on doing some prep work, which I've done a little bit of for middle school. And I need to see about getting arrangements made to move my stuff from my now old school to my new school. The last day of school for my school district is this Thursday. So I've been in contact with the teacher whose classroom I'm moving into, and her goal is to have everything out by the end of this week. So I just texted her to see if she still thought that was going to be the case, because I need to start bribing people to help me get the stuff out of my classroom. I mean, I can't even be there, really. I have to find some people that are willing enough to go to my old classroom, grab all the boxes, load them up on a truck, and deliver them to my new classroom. And so I need to know if the teacher that I'm taking over, the teacher that's moving out of my classroom, if she's going to be gone, so I can get some people lined up to help me out with that. I hope that all made sense. But so yeah, I'm getting ready to go walk on the treadmill. I hope this 30 minutes goes by fast because, like I said, it's boring. But in terms of recovery, I uploaded a vlog yesterday that showed you me getting ready for the surgery, and then me about 1 week out from surgery and how I was feeling. So now I'm about, like I said, about a month out. I feel fine. I feel good. I just know I'm not 100% recovered, and I have to be patient with that. So I got a parking spot in the very front, so I'm feeling good about that. So anyway, I will check in with you later. I might show you some of the things that I've started to acquire to get ready for my new classroom, and kick off our summer vlogs and see how this summer goes. So talk to you later. Hey guys, it is the same day. It is now 6 o'clock, so it's hours later. Last time I checked in with you, I was on my way to the gym. So I did go to the gym. I walked on the treadmill for about 30 minutes, a little bit more than 30 minutes at a 1% incline, because I still don't know if I can walk on an incline yet, and at 4.0 miles per hour. So I have a doctor's appointment. Sorry, I'm just watching Genesis because she's mischievous. I have a doctor's appointment either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And I think it's the last appointment that I have to follow up with my doctor. And at that appointment, I should be able to find out if I could walk on an incline, because I need to do a little bit more to keep myself entertained. I was able to listen to a downloaded book on audible.com. So right now I'm listening to Talk to Me by Kim Bearden, which is a book that we got autographed by Kim Bearden at the Impact Driven Teaching Conference. If you're curious to know what that was, I will link that video in a card or something up here. And then I went to Target to pick up a couple of items, and then I went to get my free iced coffee from McDonald's that I'm still working on. And then I came home and I just had a lot of like administrative things I needed to do. I talked to a friend for a while. My student teacher, who is now someone I would consider a friend, had to pick up a form for me. And so we chatted for a minute, and then I had a little brunch. But I had to send emails out. I had to email my school that I'm moving from to just talk about what they want me to do in terms of turning in my keys, and let them know that I plan on having people come down to move my stuff out of my classroom. I had to text the teacher whose classroom I'm moving into to make sure she was still good. With that happening, she is. I had to text my partner teacher to make sure there was room in the pod for me to move my stuff in there. She said, that's fine. I had to text my new principal to ask him when I can pick up the keys from them, and to see if there was anything I needed to be aware of over the summer in terms of not being in the way of like custodians or maintenance people. I had to pick what my elective was going to be. I was going to come up with my own elective. I have a couple of ideas that I've been toying with. One was having the kids make their own like mystery Doug video, and then the other one was kind of organizing a social media class, since I have a YouTube channel and an Instagram account, and I know there are students at that school that know that I have those accounts because I think some of them follow me. And I thought that would be an engaging elective to have, because kids nowadays love social media. So why not teach them how to use it properly, responsibly, how to maybe make a little business out of it for themselves. But then I had a reality check and said, this is going to be your first 6 weeks of middle school. Let's make things as easy as possible. And so they needed a teacher to fill in for a financial literacy class. So I volunteered for that, because it already comes with the curriculum and it's already established. So that is what my elective is going to be as of now. So one of the things I did when I got home from the gym and Target and McDonald's is I asked you guys a question on my Insta story about how you would like for me to show you the things that I've bought over the past few weeks in terms of stuff for my classroom, excuse me, and like clothing items and things like that. Do you want it to be haul style, which means I'm just sitting down and showing you everything all at once? Or do you want me to kind of show it to you as I'm going through these vlogs throughout the summer? And I didn't know what to expect, but I was very surprised at like how skewed the results were. So the last time I checked, 83% of you wanted it to be haul style, and only 17% wanted them to be like spread out over the vlogs for the summer. So I decided to compromise, because I think it's important. I think it's a better idea for me to show you what I've bought for my classroom along the way, because I know there's other teachers out there that will be setting up a classroom throughout the summer. And some of the things I might show you might be something that you decide you want to include in your classroom, and I want you to be able to go get it before it's no longer available as you're setting things up. So for the classroom stuff, I will show that to you along the way. And the clothing stuff, I will just show that all to you at some point in the summer, probably when we get closer to going back to school. So what I'm gonna do is that now. I'm going to show you the things that I bought for my classroom. I need to go get something off the couch. Hold on one second. it's something that I bought that I wanted to be sure to share with you guys. So the first set of things I'm going to show you are from Target. There are a couple of things that I'll show you at the very end that are still in boxes, and they'll stay in boxes, and you'll see why in a second. But the first thing is I got this today when I went to Target. So I saw this yesterday. It's a big bulletin board. I just put this on Instagram not too long ago that has a world map on it. And I saw it yesterday, and I decided not to get it yesterday because I intend for this to go in like my teacher area. I am still one of those teachers that feels the need to have my own little corner in that room. And I didn't get it then because I don't know how much wall space I'll end up with, because there are some things I know will go on the wall. I have 2 diplomas I want to hang. There's a framed magazine feature that I had that I want to hang. There's another magazine feature that I plan on getting framed over the summer and hanging up. And a couple other things, like just pictures that I bought for that purpose. And so I didn't know if I'd have space. But then today I decided to get it because I think it's better to get it while they have it. And then if I end up not having space, I can always take it back. So I definitely saved the receipt. And so I got this. So I intend to put reminders and little flyers that I need to have visible on my face on this bulletin board. And I might even put student notes there if I decide to do that. But that is the first thing that I want to show you. The next thing, I'm reaching over, is this. These are bookends. I had a set of bookends that I really liked last year. One of them was broken in half. I super glued it, and then someone else came along, and not on purpose, but ended up breaking it a second time. And then I just kind of gave up on it. And I got these instead. This was purchased thanks to a gift card from a student. The other things I'm going to show you now I got from Target, but these are online purchases that I made during my first couple of weeks of recovery. So the but the dangerous part of being homebound for 2 weeks in recovery is that you get bored. And then when you get bored, you get on the internet. And then when you get on the internet, you start to shop on the internet. And that's what I did. So I bought first, Riley, no. I bought these baskets from Target. My intention is to use these as like student inboxes where they turn in their work. I might stack them, I might not, but so I got 2 of these baskets. Next, I got from Target, this desk lamp right here. I'm gonna lean back so you can see it in all of its glory. I didn't realize this, but I do like the fact, I don't know if you could see, but it says that this is a touch lamp. So if I want to turn it on and off, I just touch this bottom part and go from there. And I will definitely try and link all of these things in the description box, especially these, because I just got these a couple weeks ago, so they will probably still be there. The other things I got from Target I'll show you last because you'll see why. I can't really move them from where they're from. So that's what I got from Target for right now. The next set of things I'm going to show you I got from Amazon. The first thing was what I had to go get out of the living room, and this is more for like teaching purposes and curriculum purposes. So my good friend Megan from Too Cool for Middle School, anytime she sees something or has something that she has really enjoyed using or thinks that I would benefit from, she'll send me a little screenshot or a text about it. So this was one of the first things she told me about. It is a book that is titled Reading Like a Historian, Teaching Literacy in middle and high school history classrooms. And the gist of this is to kind of force yourself as a teacher and to encourage your students to look at historical information with more of a critical eye, because we know that sometimes things that are in print aren't necessarily true, even when it comes to textbooks, especially when it comes to history. People have different perspectives and interpretations. So this is something that I'd like to use to kind of teach the skill of being critical of what they're reading, and definitely thinking about other perspectives to historical situations. And I plan on using a lesson. I think there's a lesson on John Smith and Pocahontas in here to kind of kick off the school year. Because I think with my social studies TE, we kind of start off with explorers and things like that. And so I thought that would be a good place to kind of put that in there to teach that skill, because it is very necessary, not just in middle school or high school, but just beyond. The other thing I got from Amazon, these two things came today, and there's one more item that should be coming tomorrow. This first thing is a little pricey, but it's something that I've wanted to have for organizational purposes for a long time. And it is, I guess it's called an extension set. I'm going to try and get really close so that you can see what it is. So this is one of those things that you sit up on your desk, and it has like clear sheet protectors, and it's what you would store in there would be things that you reference frequently. So maybe like a phone list, a list of just different things that I know I need to see on a regular basis, and I don't necessarily want to have to go look in a file folder or look in my bag to find it. So I got this. This cost about $50. So I bit the bullet and went ahead and got that. The next item from Amazon that came today is something that I have needed for a long time. I just refuse to buy it because I don't really like spending my money on things like this, but it's definitely something I need in my classroom, and I highly suggest that you get one if you don't have one. And it is a toolkit. So I need multiple things that are in this toolkit on a regular basis in my classroom. So this was about, I want to say this was about $30. And in this toolkit are a putty knife, long nose pliers, an adjustable wrench, scissors, a magnetic level, measuring tape, a claw hammer, a utility knife, electrical tape, an assortment of different fasteners, a cordless screwdriver, and 4 different types of precision screwdrivers. So it gives you a picture, well, it gives you a picture on the front of everything that's in there. So I don't like spending my money on that, but I'm very happy to have that. So the last couple things I'm going to show you are items that will be staying in the box for a long time, probably until I'm ready to actually set them up. So some of you have asked, or some of you have said, I can't wait to see your new classroom and what it's going to look like. And my new classroom is going to look a lot like my old classroom in terms of color scheme, which is going to be gray, yellow, white, and like touches or accents of gold. But since I'm not going to be spending a lot of money revamping like the look of it in terms of buying more border or buying different themed packages from Schoolgirl Style, which is where I normally get my packages from, I decided to take some of the money that I'm saving and not doing that and adding more real pieces of furniture into my classroom. So I think what people seem to like the most, and I know what I like the most about my classroom, is that it did have like a feeling of being in like maybe a living room. It felt less like a classroom and more like a living space. And I think and I feel it's because there were real pieces of furniture in there. And I think the more real furniture you can put in your classroom, the better. It just gives it a more comfortable and inviting feel. So I decided to add to that. So during those 2 weeks of me being homebound, Target was having a sale on office furniture. So this first thing, this is from the Whimsical Teacher. This cute little sign that will be somewhere in my classroom. But this first piece of furniture that I bought is a L-shaped desk. It is white. Sorry. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a picture on this box, so you can't really see it, but I'll try and add a picture either in a split screen of me talking right now, but at the very least, I will add the link in the description box and you can check it out. But this is from Target. And then the other item is a picture, and I'm trying to get close to it. This is actually a bookcase, and so I intend to put this behind my desk. So I want my little area to feel, sorry, my camera was doing something. I want my little desk area to feel less like a classroom and more like a home office, so I purchased those 2 items. So that is my little classroom haul for this video. Again, I'll show you the things that I'm getting as I'm getting them, so that if you want to get them yourself, you're able to do that. But as far as the rest of the day is concerned, I need to cook a Blue Apron meal, and I need to sweep the floor, mop the floor, and then tackle some mail in my office upstairs because it's a little messy. So I don't know that I'll check in anymore today. I might maybe vlog a little footage of me cooking, but I don't know that I'll be talking much more because I kind of want to get some stuff done. So this is the beginning of my summer vlogs. They'll probably be sporadic. I can't guarantee that I'll vlog every single day, but you'll definitely be along for the ride of my summer, getting ready for middle school. As far as me setting up my classroom, I have a feeling those videos won't show up until later in the summer because I am on disability, and by nature of disability, I can't really be at any school site or my school site without a doctor's note until my disability date is over, and that is in June. So, and if I am there, I'm gonna have to bring someone with me to like actually do the work, but I have to double check. I don't even know if I can have a foot on premises. So, but you'll definitely see it. It just may be at the end, not necessarily at the end. It may just be later in the summer. And then when you see it, it'll probably come out in like just quick successions of videos. You'll just see them back to back to back is my intention right now. And what I intend to do, I think, just to kind of change it up a little bit, because I am curious for my own self. I want to know how many hours it takes me to actually set up a classroom to the point where I feel like it's ready. So I'm gonna track the amount of time it's taking me by setting a timer on my phone. And at the end of this whole process, I hope to be able to tell you exactly how many hours it took me to get my classroom to the point where I felt like students are now able to come into it. So that should be fun. So that's it for today, probably. I will talk to you guys later. Don't know what day, but I'll talk. I'm back because I just went outside to feed the dogs. Not to feed the dogs. I just went outside to take the dogs to potty. And while I was out there, I saw that my other Amazon package that I was waiting on arrived. So I'm going to open it up with you guys today. So let me get that done. Okay, so here it is. So this is a clock. When I walked into the classroom that I'm moving into, I did not see a clock. I even took video of the classroom while I was in there and I didn't see a clock. And I kind of need a clock, so I bought this clock on Amazon. If you look closely, you see that it's gold. There you go. So nothing super special, just a very simple, clean looking clock. So that is the last thing I am expecting in the mail. That is the last thing I have purchased for the time being. So now I really am saying goodbye for the day, and I will talk to you guys later on. Good morning. What time is it for me? It is, where's my phone? It's 10:30 on the dot for me on Thursday. I'm pretty much at that point where I don't know what day it is. Lay down. I meant to vlog yesterday, but truth be told, I was just too lazy. I went to the doctor yesterday, which is why I was going to vlog, to kind of give you guys an update on how I'm doing. Yesterday was pretty much a month since I had surgery, so this was my last check-in with the doctor. He checked my incision. That seems to be healing fine. And then he, excuse me, Genesis. Then he did a regular exam, and everything was fine. So he gave me the go-ahead to like resume normal activity, but keeping in mind how I feel. So my biggest question was like, can I exercise a little bit more or do a little bit more intense exercise? And basically he said you can do anything at this point. You won't hurt yourself, but you have to be mindful of like how you feel and listen to your body. So I asked him, why is it that some days I feel just fine, like my old self, and then some days I feel like I had surgery not too long ago? And he basically just said that that's just your body's way of saying like you've worked it hard or it needs to rest a little bit. But He said I no longer really need to be worried about like ripping my uterus open, which is what I was really concerned about. So he gave me the okay to go to Orange Theory. He said he could see that my uterus was a normal size now after he did his exam, because obviously before it was much bigger than what it should have been because of the fibroids. So we are on the road to recovery. He wants me to come back in the spring just to get an ultrasound to just monitor how things are going after surgery. So that was good. So with that being said, I drove straight to Orange Theory to unfreeze my account, and then I went to my first class today. So I signed up initially for the 8:45 class, but the instructor that I normally go to sent me a message and said that she would suggest that I don't go to that class because it was a partner workout and it was going to be a little bit hectic, and gave me a different class to go to that she thought would be more appropriate, and I'm glad she did. So as far as my first workout, the running is fine. So I pretty much was able to keep the same base pace, which is kind of like that beginning pace for me is like a 5.0 to a 5.2, and I was able to keep my push pace, which is a 6.0 to a 6.2. I ran at a 5 and a 6 intermittently. And I was able to do that. The running was fine. Rowing, my body's not ready for the row machine yet. So I had to use the Strider, which is kind of like an elliptical machine. And I definitely had to do a lot of modifying in the weight room. So anything that asked me to like lift my hands up, or even doing like trying to do crunches, with which the doctor warned me of, like that is still, my body's a little too tender for that. So but it was successful. I lasted the whole time. I modified as needed. The trainer gave me different options when she saw that something wasn't quite working for me. So that's good. Today, my plan is to eat breakfast. This is what I've been eating every day for weeks. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure and I feel bad about it. I've been making a bagel and putting an egg on each side with cream cheese at the bottom and a little bit of garlic salt. Bagels are really like the devil to me because of the carbs, but I'd like to think that the protein of the egg somehow cancels out the carbiness of the bagel. That's my rationale right now. So I'm gonna eat some breakfast. I will probably take a nap because I got up earlier than what I have been, and because I can. And I will then continue to work on some stuff to get ready for middle school. So what I've been doing is I've made all these s'more pages for social studies, which I put on Instagram. And if I can remember, I'll show you what those look like in this vlog. And now I'm working on PowerPoints to go with some of the study sync lessons, and I'm just mimicking them after the grade level chair because she's already shared some of that stuff with me. So I've been working on that. I haven't done as much as I intended to because I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty gloomy. It's been gloomy and rainy outside these past couple of days. There's Genesis in our normal spot looking out the window. Right now, Riley's right here laying next to me. I have a little candle burning, and then I don't know if you can see, but the fireplace is on over there because it really is just one of those times where you just want to stay home and lay down on the couch and snuggle up and take a nap. And that's pretty much what I've been doing the past couple of days. But today I'm going to try and be more productive. So just thought I would check in and let you know I did go to Orange Theory back for the first time. I was okay, but I did have to modify. So that's one step closer to being my old self again. So I'll check in with you guys later, maybe show you those things that I just referenced in terms of like the stuff that I'm trying to work on for middle school, and then we will go from there. So what day is it? Friday. I am here at my new school to pick up my keys. I didn't check in at all yesterday because quite honestly I was lazy. I ate, I took a nap, and then I really didn't do much, so I was too embarrassed to show that to you guys. So it's about 11 o'clock right now. I just got my keys to my classroom, and I'm just going to see like how much space I have to move in. I may or may not show you the classroom. It just depends. My goal is to get things moved in tomorrow, but I just found out I need a code, and I don't have an alarm code. So I need to like ask someone to unarm the school for me, and I'm not sure that that's going to be able to happen, so we'll see. But I'm gonna vow to be more productive today. I think the weather had something to do with it, and as you can see, it's a nice sunny day today, so hopefully things will be better. So I'm getting ready to go in. I'll check in with you in a second. So I decided to show you my classroom. My sunglasses are still on so that I can see. These are prescription. I can't see, so sorry. But here it is. I don't know if this is the unofficial beginning of like my classroom transformation. This is just the blank space that I have. If you can tell, it's pretty much, well, in some ways it's very similar to my last classroom. Like that's the pod area. The only difference I can tell is that there seems to be a lot more counter space over here. I don't remember my counter being that long. I don't have nowhere near that much stuff to be storing anywhere. So there's that. There's also a giant old school TV in this classroom because this is an older school. We didn't have a TV in my previous school, and I don't even think that I'll be using that. I think everything will just be projected from the projector. I'm not going to stay very long just because that wasn't my intention. I'm just getting my keys, and I can't really do much right now. But let me flip the camera around. Just to give you an overview, that is the pod area. I'll show you that in a second maybe, but this is the classroom. This, honestly, you guys, is always the most overwhelming part to me of putting a classroom together. It's just all this blank space and area. And you know me, and I'm gonna want to paper floor to ceiling. I feel like there's a lot more wall space in here, so that's a bit much for me to handle. These items here are gonna be moved. That's the previous teachers, so the custodian needs to move that out. But yeah, the desk, these are back to traditional desks, so I don't have those triangular desks, which I'm not necessarily upset about. There were positives and negatives to those desks, and then here is the pod area. So in this pod, kind of the same setup, just a little bit more in terms of storage space. We apparently share this pod with childcare, which is either in this room right here or that room. So there's a lot of stuff in here that belongs to childcare, and it's all labeled. So we have these brown cabinets, which are like standard in the district. We have these cubbies here that it looks like they've maybe adjusted some of the shelves. So they have a little bit more space. Like these, I'm sure were all cubbies. Like these right here were once in there, and they've just altered it so that there's taller spaces, which is kind of a good idea. And then down here is a whole lot more cabinet space. So in my previous school, we didn't have all this cabinet space. The other side of the pod that I was on was just empty instead of having all these cabinets. So again, it's nice. I just know that I don't have that much space or that much stuff to be putting in it. So yeah, that's it. This is my classroom. I'm a little overwhelmed, but it will all come together because it always does. I'm getting ready to go get Genesis's prescription. Whew, yeah, see, this is why these walls have to be covered. Like there's no way. So I'm going to show you, like, I do miss like the newness of the old school, but like, look at this wall right here. See that? So that kind of stuff, just because the school is older, that is one of the reasons why I paper floor to ceiling, because I don't want to see any of that madness. I don't know what this little brown box is for and why it's there, but yeah. So I'm going to go and get my thoughts together, figure out what I'm going to do about getting things moved tomorrow, see if someone can unarm the school for me, or I don't know. But that is it. I'm going to leave. I'll try and check in with you later on today, and we'll see. I'm going to try and bottom line, I'm going to try and be more productive today, but I will definitely try and check in with you at some point later on today. Hello. It is about to be 4 o'clock, I believe. Same day. So the last time I recorded, I was, I think, leaving the school. Yeah, I was leaving the school, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get back into the classroom over the weekend to move my things in because I did not have an alarm code. And luckily, after much low-key begging and pleading, I was able to get a code from my principal. so that I can get into the classroom tomorrow and have my friends and family move my stuff from my previous school to my new school. And I really wanted to get that done this weekend, A, because I want to hurry up and get my stuff out so the teacher that is moving into that room can get in there, and B, I really just want to get the stuff moved and start rounding up some help with getting the room started as soon as possible, because I will be out of town for a couple weeks this summer, which means I'm losing a couple of weeks of time to work on putting my classroom together, and it takes me a very long time to get my classroom put together. So I got that done. I also obviously came home, showered, took a shower, got dressed. I got some Starbucks to help me not be as lazy today as I was yesterday. Had a little bagel with some egg and cream cheese. And since then, I've been looking at some stuff online that I either need or want for my classroom. I ordered a couple things on Amazon that I'll probably show in the next vlog for my classroom. And I have some things in my Teachers Pay Teachers account on my wish list, and I'm just kind of looking at some things that I want. Honestly, the other reason why I wasn't very productive yesterday is because I got to this point where I was just like confused as to the best way to spend my time. So the first couple weeks that I was out on disability, I put all these s'more pages together for social studies, which I'll show you in a second. And then I moved on to Study Sync, which is the language arts component of what I'll be teaching, because I'll be teaching language arts and social studies. And let me see if I can get the TE in case you want to see what that looks like. Okay. I got it. There we go. So it looks like this. There, I think, are 4 or 6 units, I can't remember, but it looks like this. It's very different from elementary, just in the sense that it's these little paper bound workbooks. And this is just 1 unit's worth, and inside of there is this file folder. And one of the things that I found out when I met with the district, like the district language arts professional development person, is that 1 unit takes months to get through if you follow along with everything Study Sync suggests that you do. So different teachers in the district got together, it sounds like over some point, and streamlined it down to the most important things that they felt needed to be covered. And the grade level chair for my grade level next year had some PowerPoint slides that she made and shared with me that she uses for some of the instruction. So what I have been doing, or what I had been doing, was kind of tweaking those PowerPoint slides to fit my style a little bit more. They basically and essentially say the same thing as hers, but me being the person that I am, wanted my slides to match my classroom environment, so I just tweaked them a little. So I'll show you that in a minute, but I just got to the point where I really couldn't do much more because I made all the ones that she shared. She shared a total of 3 of them, and I thought I would be able to make some more on my own, but the problem is that I have no sense of workflow with this program. I have no experience teaching it yet. I've not taught not 1 lesson with it. So it's kind of presumptuous of me to think that I can make some more PowerPoint, or Google, I should say, Google slide presentations without knowing that. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. So I just was confused. Like, what was the best use of my time? Is really where I was yesterday. Like, at this point in my break from school, what is the most effective use of my time? Is it trying to organize and create things to implement instruction and things based on curriculum? Or is it for me to take care of things like classroom management and procedures and prep stuff like that? And I'm leaning towards that because that I know my style. I know the things that I want to do. I've already gathered samples of what the other teachers share and their procedures, so I can kind of see what it's like in middle school. So I feel like I need to get stuff like that handled, and the curriculum stuff is going to be just a little bit more slow going because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, for lack of a better term, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know all these stories. I just don't know what I'm doing. So I got discouraged. And my discouragement turned into laziness. So that's where I'm at. But now that I went to my classroom, I feel a little bit more re-energized and reinvigorated is the word I think I'm looking for. And right now my focus really just needs to be on trying to get that classroom put together so that as we get closer to the start of the school year, I'm more mentally available to worry about the curriculum. I'll still look through things and try and figure out how to incorporate things like picture books into it and stuff like that. But I just had to like take a moment and be like, you're trying to do too much given the fact that you've never taught this grade. And it really is like almost being a first year teacher again, because yes, I've switched grade levels before, but when I went from 5th to 3rd, I at least was familiar with the curriculum, the layout of the TE, the lesson flow, whereas this, it's a whole new grade level, it's a whole new curriculum set, and it's a whole new environment in middle school, like just the structure of the classes, how many students I'm gonna have, how all that's organized. It's just a lot right now. So anyway, let's get to showing you what I have done. So the first thing I did is I spent several weeks making these s'more pages. I'm just going to scroll and I'll open one. Let's see, those aren't mine. Let's see. So I just went through the whole social studies book, TE, because I had time on my hands and just made one of these for each new lesson. So for example, in chapter 16, there is a lesson, although in the book it refers to them as sections instead of lessons, that is titled The Growth of Industry. So what I would do is I would make a s'more page that looked like this. All the backgrounds have like this world map look. And then I just chose the color based on the picture that I chose from Google. So I would just type in something for Google Images. I think I typed in the rise of big business, and this was one of the pictures that came up. Each lesson or section has an essential question, so I listed that here. And this was kind of like a little blurb that was at the introductory pages in the TE, so I included that. It also had a list of people to know for the lesson, places to know. There was content vocabulary for each lesson, academic vocabulary, and a reading strategy that was referenced. So I think I ended up making a total of like 65 of those. And my thought is it will just be nice to have it on my webpage for kids to reference if parents want to reference it. I don't know how active and involved parents are at the middle school level in terms of checking the website and seeing what their kids are learning. But regardless of whether or not they're doing it or not, I know as a teacher that I've made it available to them for the one parent that is looking, or for the 100 parents that are looking. So that's how I spent the first couple weeks when I was really at the beginning stages of recovery and needed to watch Game of Thrones. That was what I did while I did that. And then this was the PowerPoints or the Google presentations that I was working on. So the ones that she sent to me looked, let me see if I can find one that she did, looked like this. So they were great, but they were just a little too dark for my liking, and I wanted mine to just feel lighter and a little bit airier. So I would just open the one that she shared with me, look at the information that she provided. And it was very nice of her to share this with me because that reflects the work that she put in, and she didn't have to do that. And then I just basically mimicked the same thing that she did and just use a different template. So they say the exact same thing. I may have changed a word or two here or there, but this is more coordinated with the vision that I'm gonna have for my classroom. I also took the time to search like media that I can include. So this particular story is called Sorry, Wrong Number. And it takes place in like the 1940s, and they have to understand what a switchboard operator is. So this is just a video that I found on YouTube that kind of shows them what a switchboard operator does. And then the rest, I just kind of filled in whatever she made reference to. I also found a clip of I guess this is a movie, because this is actually a play in the book, but there is film versions of it. So I found a clip of that because I thought that would be interesting for them to see. And learning objectives, vocabulary, and I'm going to try and make sure that I include this. So this is just an image straight from Study Sync, to include like a Kagan structure whenever I can, because I think that's good. So we're going to do something called Showdown. And so, yeah, I've been doing that. And then let me show you something else I have been tinkering around with. I've been using this website called Trello. And I saw this on another teacher's Instagram account, and I just was really intrigued by it. And it's like a digital to-do list. So I'm going to log in and show you what I've done so far. I mean, I'm sure it's not the most effective use of this site, but I'm a beginner and it'll get better with time. So I have these different boards. So you can have these different boards where you organize different bits of information. So I've created a few, as you can see, but this one is for Study Sync. So I have a Unit 1 section. So Unit 1 is about suspense, narratives, that's the essential question. If there's any picture book that I think that I could use, I'll list it there. So I know one of the skills is similes and metaphors, and I know that I have these books that talk about or that touch on similes and metaphors. So I included that there so that when I start that, I can say, oh, what books do I have? And then I can go there. And the other thing somewhere in here, okay, I had to stop abruptly. I'm not sure how the edit's gonna go because I was showing you Trello, and as I was showing it to you, realized some stuff I had put on there was missing. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if I didn't save it or what the case is, but I just went back on there to fix it so that I could properly show you what it is I've been using this for. So I created several different boards, one for social studies, one for language arts, one's like a to-do list, one is like a classroom management idea list. And it's basically, the best way I can describe it is like a to-do list that you would put in a notebook in a digital format, if that makes sense. So for Study Sync is what I've used it the most for. So what I have done so far is I've made this, I think this is called a card. I'll have to get the terms correct. Oh no, this is called a list. And then these are called cards. So I've made a list for Unit 1 and just put that for Unit 1, the topic is suspense, specifically focusing on narratives. And this is the essential question. And then within that unit, there's several excerpts from stories that we'll be looking at. So the first excerpt they'll be looking at is called or titled Let 'Em Play God. And then if I have any picture book that I feel like I could tie into that, since that's one of my big goals, transitioning from elementary school to middle school, then I'm going to list them here. So here I know one of the skills that we'll be talking about is similes and metaphors. And these are books that I own that deal with similes, metaphors, or like idioms, like the good egg is an idiom. And so I've listed them there so that when I get to the point where I'm teaching this, instead of sitting around thinking, do I have books? I've already kind of done some of that work and listed them there. I also pulled any media clips that I thought would be helpful. So I found a Brain Pop video, not Brain Pop Junior, Brain Pop, which is for older kids, on similes and metaphors. That's linked here. I'm also going to link the quiz, just like I did in elementary school, because I liked having that as like a quick reading comprehension grade, like a little fluff grade to help their grade, as well as listening and speaking, but I'm not even sure if that's a grade in middle school at this point. Trailers, this is a North by Northwest trailer, which kind of ties in with suspense. The movie trailer for Rope, and a little clip about Alfred Hitchcock, which is who is speaking in this excerpt on Let Them Play God. So I did that from Let Them Play God. Then Monkey's Paw, same thing. I haven't figured out what picture books yet, but I have 3 media clips here. Brain Pop video, a YouTube video on superstitions, because that's a topic that we'll discuss. And then the third story so far is Sorry, Wrong Number. So far I only have 2 media clips. So I did that, and then I also did a little bit for social studies, which is right here. And so chapter 1 I know is about expanding horizons, and there's a little project that was included titled Cultural Perspectives. So this is really just there to remind myself that that was a project that I thought was worth looking at. And from the book that Megan suggested that I showed you earlier in the week, there's an activity titled Did Pocahontas Rescue John Smith? So that's just to remind myself that I want to do that there. So that's what I've done so far in terms of like prepping for curriculum stuff. I feel good about it, but again, like I can't get too deep into it because I don't have I don't have any familiarity with teaching these things. So that is what's up. That's what I've been working on the past several days. As far as the rest of today, I'm going to try and go upstairs to my office to edit this vlog that really only covers 2 days out of this week. I am experimenting with some new editing software, so that might take a little bit longer than what I would normally take. But the problem is this spot on the couch is very comfortable, so it's just hard peeling myself from this spot to my office upstairs, which is very comfortable for an office, but it's just the challenge of getting from here to there. So that's what's going on. I don't think I'll vlog anymore this week. I think, well, I take that back. I will vlog some more probably tomorrow because I will be moving stuff into my classroom, and I think that will be the official start of me tracking how much time it takes for me to set up a classroom, but I won't include it in this vlog. I know that for certain. So I am going to sign off here, and I am really looking forward to sharing the setup experience of my classroom. I posted about it on Instagram and said that I'm a little anxious about it. I don't know if I said that earlier when I started recording today, but I'm nervous about it, I'm anxious about it, and I'm excited about it all at the same time. So we'll see how it turns out. So buckle up, everybody, because it's about to be a journey. It's gonna take some time, especially with me just being on disability and having a little bit of a limit as to what I can do physically and logistically, but it will get done and it will be shared with you guys when the time comes. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope it makes sense when I put it all together, and I will be sure to see you in the next summer vlog. So until then, have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.